I'm going to show you how to make these cute little lucky cats, and you can either make this design for the eyes, or I'm going to show you how you can make the alternate design for the eyes. So I'm just going to give you a close-up view of each one, and they have a little bell that you can put onto their leash or their collar, and they have arms that move up and down so they can wave, and also movable feet so they could sit. And then this is what they look like from behind, and you can make your tail as big or as small as you want. And I also show how you can put stripes on their face if you like that design. And you can make them whatever color that you like. I'm going to show you the yarn that I used to make these. And then this one, to show you this one, I also showed how to make the gold coin. So I'll show you how to do that if you like the cat to hold a gold coin. And then also, I have a link to a video to show you how to make the goldfish if you like the goldfish. For this project, I used a G or 4mm crochet hook. And also you're going to need a tapestry needle and a pair of scissors. I used a little bell, jingle bell, that I put onto the collar. So that's optional if you want to do that. The yarn that I used for this lucky cat was Caron Simply Soft, and this is the white color. This is also Caron Simply Soft, and this is their burgundy. It's a really pretty burgundy color. You can see how it just really looks cute on the lucky cat. I also used With Love, Red Heart With Love, and this color is Mango. And I just used that for the stripes. For the gold color that I used for the goldfish, as well as for the top of the lucky cat's head, I used Red Heart Super Saver, and it's gold color. For the eyes and the whiskers and eyelashes, I used, this is Havana's soft, I think it's called the Glamour black color, but you should be able to use any black color yarn for the eyes. The yarn I used for the pink lucky cats, I just used a large pink that is the Caron 1 pound equivalent. And then I also used Caron Simply Soft, and this is a watermelon color. And you could tell how cute the watermelon looks, like a hot pink color, and I really liked the way it turned out for the lucky cats. And again, I used the black yarn for the face, the eyes, and the whiskers. And I used the Caron Simply Soft white for the main body. For the coin that I made, I used the Red Heart Super Saver gold color. The first thing we're going to do is a slip knot. So you're just going to take your yarn and just fold it over on itself to form a loop. And then just take your crochet hook, and I'm using my G or 4mm crochet hook, just put it right through the loop. And then hold the base of the loop with your middle finger and thumb. And then yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and bring that yarn through the loop. And then you have your slip knot. Now you're going to make a chain of 20. So I'm going to just do 4 of them with you, but you're going to make a chain of 20. So yarn over, turn the hook upside down, go through the loop for 1, 2, 3, 4. So go ahead and finish making a chain of 20 and then come back and I'll show you what to do next. Your work should look like this, and this is a chain of 20. Now you're going to go ahead and take your crochet hook and you're going to go into the second chain from the hook. And you're going to do a single crochet. So you're going to yarn over, bring up a loop, yarn over, and then bring the yarn through both loops on the hook for a single crochet. And then you're going to do a single crochet into every stitch all the way back to the end. So a single crochet in every stitch all the way back to the end, and then come back and I'll show you the next step. This is how your work should be looking, and I have 1 stitch left on the end. Now in this last stitch you're going to do 3 single crochet into that last stitch, and as you work your single crochets around to the other side, you're going to bury that loose yarn end. And to do that, you just go into that last stitch and you're going to go behind the loose yarn end, bring up a loop, then you have 2 loops on a hook, yarn over and go through both for a single crochet. So 3 single crochets into that end, and that will bring you around to the other side. And now you're going to do a single crochet on the opposite side. So you go into the next stitch behind that loose yarn end, bring up a loop, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over and go through both for a single crochet, and you're going to do a single crochet all the way back to the end. And then once you've buried that loose yarn end enough, you can go ahead and cut it. So I'm just going to go ahead and keep doing single crochets until I've buried that loose yarn end. And then I'm going to go ahead and just cut it. All right, so once you've buried it an amount that you like, go ahead and take your scissors and just cut it. And then you can just continue doing single crochets all the way across to the end. And then come back and I'll show you the next step. So here I am, and I've done single crochets all the way to the end, and now I have 1 stitch left. I'm going to do 2 single crochets into that last stitch. So once you finish doing the 2 single crochets in that last stitch, you're going to go into the first single crochet on the other side where you started, and you're going to do a single crochet. So bring up a loop, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over and go through both for a single crochet, and now you're going to do 1 single crochet into every stitch, and you're going to work in rounds. So you're just going to work all the way around the opposite side. Just keep working in rounds until you've completed 5 rows. So 1 single crochet into every stitch for 5 rows, and right here you can put a yarn marker. I'm just going to use one of my scraps of yarn and just place it right after your last stitch, and now you can keep track of when you complete 5 rows. So just keep doing 1 single crochet all the way around back to the yarn marker, and do that for 5 rows, and then come back and I'll show you what to do next. You should have finished 5 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and before we add the white color, we're going to go to the halfway mark on the back. So you're going to keep doing single crochets until you get to the middle of the back. And that's going to be the back of the head for the cat. And then once you get to around the center of the back of the head, you're just going to go into the next stitch and you're going to bring up a loop. Then you have 2 loops on the hook, and then just take the white color or whatever color that you're using for your cat, and then hook the yarn and bring it through both loops on the hook. And then you're going to chain 1. So you yarn over, turn the hook upside down and go through that loop for chain 1. And then you're going to take and cut your previous color yarn and then tie a knot. And then you're going to do single crochet into every stitch around with the white colored. You can go ahead and get rid of your yarn marker. You're not going to need it because now you have your color change, which will show you how many rows that you've done. So you're going to continue to work in rounds, and you're going to do single crochets all the way around, and you're going to do that for 6 rows. So go ahead and finish doing 1 single crochet into every stitch for 6 rows, and then come back and I'll show you how to do the face. You should be finished with your 6 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go ahead and leave enough of a loop of yarn on the back so it doesn't come undone, and turn it over, and now we're going to do the face of the cat. Go ahead and get your black yarn. We're going to start with the black yarn, and we're going to do a magic circle. Just going to take the yarn and drape it across your 4 fingers, and then stabilize with your thumb. Wrap around the 2 middle fingers twice and hold it in place with your pinky and your thumb. Now take your crochet hook, and I'm using my G or 4mm crochet hook. Just go under those 2 loops around the middle finger, and then yarn over and bring up a loop, and then yarn over, turn the hook upside down and go through that loop for a slip knot. Now we're going to do 6 single crochet into the magic circle. So you take your crochet hook under, bring up a loop, you have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, turn the hook upside down and go through both those loops for a single crochet. And then we're going to do 6 single crochet into the magic circle. And actually we're going to do 6 more. So you finish 6 single crochet. We're actually going to do 6 more for a total of 12. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we have a total of 12 single crochets into the magic circle. Take your forefinger and thumb and hold at the base of those 12 single crochet, and then you have the 2 loops on the opposite side of the magic circle. You're going to take one of them and pull. If it doesn't close, let go and pull on the other one until it closes. And then take your loose yarn end and pull on that. And then you're going to take your crochet hook and go into that next stitch You're going to go under both loops of that next stitch. You're going to yarn over and pull the yarn through both loops on your hook for a slip stitch. And then turn your work, if you have a huge hole in the center of your work, turn it over and then just pull on that loose yarn end until it's closed. And then you're going to finish off, yarn over, and pull your yarn through. Pull enough yarn to sew the eye onto your work. And then you need 2 of these, so go ahead and make 1 more. Now, to make the white part of the eye, you're just going to take your white yarn with your tapestry needle and then place your eyes to see where you would like the white portion to be, if you want it on the outside or the inside. I'm doing mine on the outside of the eye, so you want to do it on the opposite side of your other eye. And what you do is you go with your tapestry needle and you go through from the back with your tapestry needle. And here you can see I'm coming out through the front corner. Leave enough yarn on the back for tying your knot. And then you're just going to take about 1 millimeter to 2 millimeters stitch on the outer portion of that eye. And then you just turn over and tie a knot on the back. And then you can see the little white portion of the eye. So now we're going to sew the nose on before we place the eyes. Now for the nose, you're going to take your tapestry needle, and I'm using the hot pink for the nose, or watermelon color. And you're going to come up, and I'm coming up, make sure that your head is flat, and then I'm coming over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stitches in, and then 2 rows down. And you're going to come up through the front only, of course, to put the nose. And make sure that you leave enough yarn on the inside for tying your knot. And then you're going to go up a row, and it's about 2 stitches over, and then just go in to the inside. And then you're going to come back down on the previous row, so 1 row down, and then go back in through the top. And then you're going to go 2 rows down towards the center again. From the inside, you're going to come up, and then you're going to go back in, and then you're going to come out through the other side. And then come back down through the center. Then you're going to take on the inside and just tie a knot. And now you're going to fill in the center of the nose. So you can just take your tapestry needle and come back up, and then just keep going down to the inside until you've completely covered the inside of the nose. And when you have the inside of the nose completely covered, come back and I'll show you how to make the mouth. Now that your nose is completely covered, we're going to do the mouth. You're going to come out from the inside and you're just going to come about one row down from the nose, the bottom of the nose, and then go back in the top portion or the tip of the nose, and then you have that little area right below the nose for the mouth. And then you're going to make the smile. So you're going to go up about a stitch over from the nose, and then you're going to come back towards the center, and you have one side of the smile. And now you're going to go to the other side, equal distance from the tip of the nose. And the inside, just make sure that one loose yarn end doesn't get tangled. And then go back through the center of the smile to finish the smile. And then you're going to tie a knot on the inside. And then go ahead and cut. You can leave a little bit of a loose yarn end on the inside, but not too much. And then you can turn it inside out so the right side is facing, and you can see how you have the nose and the smile done. Now you're going to take your eyes, and you have your long end for sewing right at the top of the eye. So we want to get rid of these yarn ends on the inside of the eye. First, you want to tie a knot so it's really secure on the inside. It won't come undone. And then once you have a pretty good knot, you're going to take and cut the loose yarn ends, not too close, just enough where you can bury them and hide them as you sew them onto the face. Then you take your tapestry needle and put it on the loose yarn end that you left for sewing, and then you're just going to sew the eyes onto the face. And you can see how I sewed the eye about, if you go to the top of the nose here, you can count how many stitches, 1, 2, 3 over. And then I took up 2 rows here. And you can see how I placed the eye. So I'm just going to place the other eye exactly the same distance and then sew it into place. And now you should have your eyes sewn in place. And you can see how I placed my eyes on the face. Now we're going to do the whiskers, so go ahead and get your tapestry needle with your black yarn, and you're going to come up from the inside, and you're about midway on the eye, about a row down. You can see where I'm coming out, and about 2 stitches over from the mouth, and then just come up and leave enough yarn for tying a knot on the inside, and then you're going to make an angle with your whisker going up, and I went up 2 rows and about 2 stitches over, and then I'm going to come back from the inside a stitch lower. So you can see I came out a stitch lower, and then I'm just going to go straight across on the same row. So I'm going straight down and then straight across. And then before you tie your knot, you're going to go from the inside and you're going to come up about a row up above the mid portion of the eye. And then you're going to go up 2 rows. And over 1 stitch. And then you're going to go over about a stitch and then up at an angle about a stitch over. And then you're going to do the exact same thing on the other side, but first go ahead and tie your knot. On the inside. And then just clip or cut and leave just a little bit of a loose yarn end. And then go ahead and do the exact same thing on the other side. When you're finished, this is how your face will look. And now I'm going to show you how to do the ears. The first thing we're going to do, you're going to get the color for the inside of your ears, and I'm using the watermelon color or hot pink. And the first thing I'm going to do is do my slip knot. So I'm going to fold the yarn over on itself to form a loop, and then I'm going to hold the base of the loop with my middle finger and my thumb, and then just put the crochet hook through. And I'm still using my G hook or 4mm crochet hook. Just going to yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through that loop for a slip knot. Now you're going to chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now you're going to single crochet back across to the beginning. So you're going to go in the second chain from the hook with your crochet hook. You're going to bring up a loop. You have 2 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and go through both for a single crochet. And then you're just going to do a single crochet in every stitch back across. Now you're going to chain 1. You're going to turn your work around, and then you're going to do a slip stitch into the next stitch. So you go into the next stitch with your crochet hook. You're going to yarn over and bring the yarn through both loops on your hook for a slip stitch. And then you're going to do a single crochet into the next stitch and into every stitch except for the last stitch. So a single crochet into every stitch except for the last stitch. And in that last stitch, we're going to do a slip stitch. So you're going to go into that stitch, you're going to yarn over, and bring the yarn through both loops on your hook for a slip stitch. Then you're going to chain 1, turn your work, then you're going to do a slip stitch into the next stitch. So yarn over, bring the yarn through both loops on the hook. Then you're going to do a single crochet into the next stitch, single crochet into the second stitch, and single crochet into the third stitch. And then you're going to do a slip stitch into the next stitch. So yarn over, bring the yarn through both loops on your hook for a slip stitch. You're going to chain 1, you're going to turn, you're going to do a slip stitch into the next stitch over, and then you're going to do a single crochet into the next stitch, and a single crochet into the second stitch, and then you're going to do a slip stitch into the next stitch. And then you're going to chain 1, you're going to turn, slip stitch into the next stitch. You're going to do a single crochet into the next stitch, and then you're going to do a slip stitch into the next stitch. You're going to chain 1 and turn, and then you're going to do a slip stitch into the next stitch, and then you're going to finish off. So you're going to yarn over and bring a little bit of yarn through to bury into your work. So you have the inner portion of the ear done. You need 2 of these, and then you need the exact same thing with your softer pink color. So total you're going to have 4. You're going to have 2 this color and then 2 in the soft pink color, and then come back and I'll show you how to put the ears together. Okay, so you should have 4 triangles for the ears, and you're going to take the inner color and place it right on the outer color, and then take the front color yarn on your tapestry needle, and then you're just going to sew the 2 sides together and just leave the bottom part of the triangle open. So just take your tapestry needle and just sew the 2 sides together, and just make sure you tie a knot. And then when you're done sewing the 2 sides together, go ahead and do the same thing with the other ear, and then come back and I'll show you how to sew them onto the cap. Okay, now you want to take your tapestry needle and tuck all of your loose yarn ends into the inside of the ear. Now you just take your tapestry needle with the same color yarn as the inside color of the inner ear, and then take your tapestry needle and you're going to come up from the inside and through the ear, and just leave enough yarn on the inside for tying a knot, and then you're just going to sew the ear in place. So go ahead and sew your ear on, and then come back and we'll see how the ears look. After you've sewn on the front of the ear, go ahead and change yarn color to sew on the back of the ear, and then you're just going to come up from the inside through the back of the ear with your tapestry needle, and again you're going to leave some yarn on the inside for tying a knot, and then you're just going to sew on the back of the ear. And after you're done, go ahead and sew the other ear on and then come back. Now you should have both ears sewn on, and you can see what it looks like on the back. So now I'm just going to show you an alternative way to do the eyes. And you would do the nose the same way, the nose and the mouth, and then just take your black yarn and your tapestry needle, and then you're going to come up from the inside and just leave enough yarn on the inside for tying a knot. And then you're going to go up one row and you're going to go over two. And then you're going to come up from the inside. You're going to go over a stitch. And then go back across with your tapestry needle. And then you're going to go over a stitch and down a row. And then back in. And then we're going to go ahead and do the eyelashes, just like here. So you're going to come up, a row up in the middle of the eye. So row up towards the middle of the eye. And then you're going to go up 2 rows. And then you're going to go a stitch over. You're going to go up on the same row at a slant, a stitch over. And then we're going to do the whiskers. So you're going to go across towards the middle of the eye, and you're going to come about 2 rows down. So here you can see where my tapestry needle is from the nose. And then I'm going to go up 1 row and over 3 stitches, go back in, and then I'm going to go down 1 row, come back up, and then I'm going to go down a row and straight down from your previous whisker. And then you're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. But first, you're just going to turn your work inside out and just tie a knot onto the back. And go ahead and cut, just leave a small amount of loose yarn ends. And then you're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Now you can leave it like this, or you can put some stripes on, and I'm going to show you how to do the stripes now. Just take whatever color you want to do your stripes and your tapestry needle. And we're going to start with the center stripe first. So you're just going to come up on the back side, right in the middle, with your tapestry needle. And again, you'll leave enough yarn on the inside for tying a knot. And then you're going to come straight down and then go back in to the inside. And then you're going to come back out again on the other side, a stitch over with your tapestry needle, and then come back down the same place you went in the first time. And then you're going to go right into the center of the two with your tapestry needle, and then come right back down to the center. And then you have one stripe done. And then we're going to do two more. So you're going to go over to the other side with your tapestry needle. So here I'm going one row up towards the front and two stitches over. And then I'm going to go two stitches over and then back a row. And then you're going to come out a stitch over. And then go back into the same. And you could put one more stitch in the center, but I'm just going to leave it just like that. And the same thing on the other side. And then you're just going to turn it inside out and then just tie a knot. And then just cut the loose yarn end. And then you can see how the stripes look with the thinner yarn. And then here with the thicker yarn, you can see how the stripes look. And then I'm going to show you how to do this stripe here if you want that stripe on as well. Now for the side stripe, I'm using the same colored yarn in my tapestry needle, and I'm just going to come out from the inside. You can see where I'm coming out in relation to the eyelashes, and leave enough yarn on the inside for tying your knot. And then you're just going to go across and under with your tapestry needle. And then you're going to go down about mid the other eyelash, just go midway down, back in. And then you're going to come back out again, one stitch down below. And again, you're going to go underneath that black yarn for one of the eyelashes, and then go down into the same space you went down before. And then you can go another time. I'm going to do one more. Just go right in the center. And then again, go under that black eyelash. And then go down in the same spot. And then you just tie your knot on the inside. To make the body of the cat, we're going to start with your white yarn or whatever yarn you're using for your cat. And we're going to make a magic circle. You're going to drape the yarn across your 4 fingers and use your thumb to stabilize. And then wrap it around your 2 middle fingers twice. And then hold it with your pinky and your thumb. And I'm still using my G crochet hook or 4mm crochet hook. Go under those 2 loops around the middle finger. You're going to yarn over. And then you're going to pull the yarn under those 2 loops around the middle finger. Bring up a loop. And then you're going to yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and then go through that loop for your slip knot. And now we're going to do 6 single crochet into the magic circle. So you just go under those 2 loops, bring up a loop. You have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through both of those loops for a single crochet. So we're going to do 6 single crochet into the magic circle. It's 5 and 6. Now you're just going to take your 4-finger and your thumb and you're going to hold it at the base of those 6 single crochet, and then you have those 2 loops on the other side of the magic circle. You're going to pull on one to close it. If it doesn't close, then of course you let go and pull on the other one, but this one's closing, so I'm going to pull on that loosely. Then take that loose yarn in and pull on that. You don't have to pull it too tight yet because we still have to work into the stitches, and you can always close it more later. Now you're going to hold your work like this, and we're going to work into that first stitch. So you go into that first stitch under both loops, and we're going to do 2 single crochet into that same stitch. There's 1. Go into the same stitch, bring up a loop, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, go through both for a single crochet. So you have 2 single crochet in the same stitch. You're going to do 2 single crochet into every stitch around the circle for a total of 12, and then come back. Now in the center, you can see I have a little hole in the center, so I'm going to close that up. Just turn your work over and grab the loose yarn in and just gently pull on it until it's closed. And you can see how that closes the magic circle nicely. Now you're going to need a yarn marker, and I just use one of my scraps of yarn. Just place it right where you left off. And now we're going to do an increase round. So you're going to do 1 single crochet into the next stitch. And then in the second stitch, you're going to do 2 single crochet in the same stitch. 1, 2. And then you're just going to repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn markers. So 1 single crochet in the first stitch, 2 single crochet in the second stitch. Go ahead and take your yarn marker and move it up to where you left off. And now you're going to do another increase round. You're going to do 1 single crochet into the first stitch, 1 single crochet into the second stitch, and then 2 single crochet into the third stitch. And you're going to repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker, and then come back and I'll show you what to do next. Now we're going to do our last increase round. So go ahead and take your yarn marker and just move it up to where you left off. And we're going to do 1 single crochet into the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and then that 4th stitch you're going to do 2 single crochet in the same stitch. And then go ahead and repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. And this is our last increase round. Go ahead and move your yarn marker up. Now you're going to do 1 single crochet into every stitch around. So 1 single crochet into every stitch around, and you're going to do that for 10 rows. So go ahead and do 1 single crochet in every stitch and complete 10 rows, and then come back. Alright, so you should have finished 10 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we're going to start our decrease rounds. So go ahead and take your yarn marker and move it up to where you left off. And you're going to do 1 single crochet into the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. And now we're going to do a decrease stitch. So you're going to take your crochet hook and just go into the next stitch over, bring up a loop. You have 2 loops on the hook. Go into the next stitch, bring up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through all 3 for a decrease. And you're going to repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. Go ahead and take your yarn marker and move it up to where you left off, and we're going to do another decrease round. Now you're going to do 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches. 1, 2, and then you're going to do your decrease stitch. And at any time as you're closing and doing your decrease round, you can go ahead and stuff the inside with your pillow stuffing or whatever you're using to stuff your cat with. So 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then do a decrease stitch and repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker, and then come back. Back to the yarn marker, and you can see how I went ahead and just stuffed the body. Then you can go ahead and move your yarn marker up, and now you're going to do another decrease round, and you're going to do 1 single crochet. Let me see where my neck, there it is. Okay, 1 single crochet into the next stitch, and then you're going to do your decrease stitch. And you're going to repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker, and then come back. This is how your work should be looking. Now you can go ahead and just get rid of your yarn marker, and I'm just going to help show you how to close this. So we're going to close it together. Now you're just going to do decrease stitches all the way around until you can't do any more decrease stitches, and then I'm going to show you how to slip stitch it closed. Okay, so now I'm just going to do slip stitches. So I'm going to skip the next stitch and go into the second stitch, and then I'm going to yarn over and pull through both loops for a slip stitch. And you're just going to keep doing that around. Skip a stitch, go into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through both loops for a slip stitch until you're closed. And then once it's closed, then you just yarn over. You're going to finish off, yarn over, and pull the yarn through just enough to bury into your hook. And you finished the body. So now we're going to do the paws. We're going to make the paw now, and we're going to start with a magic circle. Just take the yarn, drape it across your four fingers. Use your thumb to stabilize, and then wrap the yarn around your 2 middle fingers and hold it in place with your pinky and your thumb. and I'm still using my G crochet hook or 4mm crochet hook. Go under those 2 loops around the middle fingers, yarn over, and bring up a loop, then yarn over, turn the hook upside down and go through that loop for a slip knot. Now you're going to do 6 single crochet into the magic circle, just like you did for the body. So just like the body, we're going to close the magic circle. Now you're going to do 2 single crochet into every stitch around for a total of 12. And sometimes getting in that first stitch is, for some reason, a little bit more difficult. So go ahead and finish doing 2 single crochet into every stitch around for a total of 12, and then come back. Now I'm just going to close the center of the magic circle. So you see how it closed nicely. Then you go ahead and get your yarn marker. And now you're going to do an increase round, just 1 increase round. You're going to do 1 single crochet into the next stitch, and then 2 single crochet into the second stitch, and then just repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. Move your yarn marker up to where you left off, and now you're just going to do 1 single crochet around. So 1 single crochet into every stitch around, and then come back. Okay, so we're going to move our yarn marker up, and now we're going to do only 5 decreases. So you go into the next stitch, bring up a loop, go into the next stitch, bring up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through all 3 for a decrease. So that's 1 decrease, and then we're going to do another decrease. That's 2. So we're going to do 5 of these. 3. 4. And 5. Now you're just going to do 1 single crochet into every stitch back to the yarn marker, and then come back. Now you can see how you have a little bit of a little pouch for the paw. Go ahead and move your yarn marker up. Now we're just going to do 1 single crochet into every stitch, and you're going to do that for 11 rows. So go ahead and do 1 single crochet into every stitch, and then complete 11 rows, and then come back. You should have completed 11 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now you're going to go ahead and stuff your foot, and then I'm going to show you how to do the decrease rounds. I finished stuffing my paw, and make sure that you shape your little forefoot or paw as you stuff. And then you don't need a yarn marker because we're just going to decrease it closed. So we're just going to do decrease rounds. And then once we can't do any more decrease rounds, we're going to slip stitch it closed, just like we did for the body. Oops. So go ahead and close it the same way that you did for the body. Just keep doing your decrease rounds and then slip stitch it closed. I'll go ahead and just do it with you since we're almost done. Now I'm going to start doing slip stitches. So I'm going to skip a stitch, yarn over, and bring the yarn through both loops on the hook for a slip stitch. And looks like one more should do it. Yep, there we go. Then I'm going to finish off. Go ahead and yarn over and pull enough yarn to bury into the work. So you're going to need 4 of these. And we're going to go ahead, take your tapestry needle, just take that loose yarn end, and then you're just going to take and go right down the center and exit anywhere on the foot. Just pull that through, and then you're just going to cut that loose yarn end. So go ahead and make 4 of these, and then come back and I'll show you how to sew them onto the body and put the little claws on. Before we put the paws and the body, we have to finish the head. So go ahead and get the head. And we're going to start doing our decrease rounds. Go ahead and get your yarn marker and just put it right where you left off on the head. And you're going to do 1 single crochet into the next 5 stitches. And then you're going to do your decrease stitch. So you're going to go into your next stitch, bring up a loop, go into the next stitch, bring up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and go through all 3 for your decrease stitch. So go ahead, repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. So I think you know what the pattern is going to be now. For this next decrease round, we're going to do 1 single crochet into the next 4 stitches. And then you're going to do your decrease stitch. And you're going to repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. Move your yarn marker up. And now you're going to do 1 single crochet into the next 3 stitches. And then do your decrease stitch. And at any time, you can go ahead and stuff the head of the cat. So go ahead and repeat that pattern back to the yarn marker. I went ahead and put the stuffing into the head. And now you can just move your yarn marker up to where you left off. And now you're going to do 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches. And then do your decrease stitch. And then repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. Okay, so now you can go ahead and get rid of your yarn marker, and now you're just going to decrease closed just like you did for the body. You're just going to do decrease stitches, excuse me, and then you're going to do slip stitches to close it. Now your head should be all closed for the cat. So now just take your body, and we're going to sew the body onto the head with our tapestry needle, and you're going to use your same color yarn as the head and the body. Now you're going to take your tapestry needle and your yarn, and you're just going to go into the body, come out on the head, leave enough yarn to tie a knot and to bury into your work. And then since I came out on the head, I'm going to go back in through the head and down into the body with the tapestry needle. And you're just going to keep doing that until you've sewn the head onto the body, and then come back. Once you've sewed the head on the way you like it, just come out with your tapestry needle right where you went in with your yarn, and then you're just going to tie a knot And then you're just going to take your loose yarn ends and just put all of your loose yarn ends onto your tapestry needle. And then you're going to go in to the body and then come out anywhere on the body, but I'm going to come out the bottom. And then you're just going to bury all your loose yarn ends this way. And then come back and I'll show you how to put the arms on. Okay, so now you're going to need your tapestry needle with the same color yarn as your body and your paws. And you should have 4 paws. They should be all made the same way. And I'm going to show you how to put the arms on. So just take the arms and you're going to line them up with the side of the cat. Make sure that your paws are facing forward. The little pouch for the paw is facing forward. And then once you have your paws lined up, pinch them together. Then you're going to take your tapestry needle. You're going to go through towards the top of the arm. Here's the top of the arm, and I went about a couple rows down in the center of the top of that arm. And you're going to go through the body and out the other side. And then just pull the yarn through and make sure you leave plenty of yarn to tie your knot. And then you're going to go about a stitch over on the arm. And then you're going to go back through the body and the other arm with your tapestry needle. And then come out. And then you're going to let loose. Make sure that you puff the body back out and the arms back out. And then you're just going to tie a knot. And then you're going to take, and I always go through a second time just to make sure that it's nice and secure. So now I'm just going to take and go through just like I did before. And I'm going to puff it out again. Make sure that you can move the arms up. And then just tie another knot. And then just take your loose yarn ends. And usually what I do is I go right in where I did my knot. And then I come out on the arm, anywhere on the arm. And then go ahead and just bury all your loose yarn ends. And then you're going to take and do the legs. Make sure that the legs, you have the same thing. The paw is facing forward. You can move your arms out of the way. And then you're just going to line up the paws on the body. Go up just a little bit on the body to make sure that you have enough. Line them up on both sides. Make sure that you have them the way that you want them. And then you're just going to sew them on the same way that you did the arms. And then come back and we'll see how the cat looks and do the tail. So this is how your cat should be looking, and you can move the arms up and down. Same with the legs, and you can make the cat sit. So now we're going to do the tail, and then I'll show you how to finish the paws and the collar. Now for the cat's tail, you're going to use the same color yarn as your cat, and we're going to do a magic circle. Just drape the yarn across your 4 fingers and then drape the yarn across your 2 middle fingers twice. Hold it in place with your pinky and your thumb. And I'm still using my G or 4mm crochet hook. Go ahead and bring up a loop. And then yarn over, turn the hook upside down. and go through that loop for your slip knot. And then you're going to do 6 single crochet into the magic circle, just like we've done for the paw and the body. 4, 5, and 6. Then take your forefinger and thumb and just hold at the base of those 6 single crochet, and then we're going to close it just like we did before. And now you're just going to do 1 single crochet into every stitch around. And then you're just going to make your tail as big or as small as you want it for your cat. Just keep doing keep doing 1 single crochet in every stitch, every stitch around. And also, you're going to want to close the center of your magic circle. So you just take and pull on that loose yarn end to close it up. And you can, if you want, you can turn your work inside out and then just keep working 1 single crochet into every stitch around. And then come back and I'll show you how to sew it onto the cat. Once you have the tail the size that you want, then you're just going to do a slip stitch into the next stitch over. Just yarn over and pull the yarn through both loops on the hook for a slip stitch. And then you're going to finish off, yarn over, turn the hook upside down and go through that loop and leave enough yarn to sew the tail onto the body. And you don't need to stuff the tail unless you want to. And then you're just going to take your tapestry needle and then you're just going to take the cat and you're just going to sew the tail onto the back of the cat. And you can see the tail is all sewn on and helps to even let the cat sit easier. And now I'm just going to show you how to do the paws. Now for the paws, you can use whatever color that you want of yarn on your tapestry needle. I'm using the watermelon color, which is the same color that I used for the inner ear. And you're just going to take your paw and your tapestry needle and you're going to go in from the bottom, and I'm going about, here's the rim of the paw, and I'm going to go in on the side and then come out the top of the paw. So I have about 1, 2, 3 rows, and I'm coming in at an angle. So you can see how I'm coming in on the cat's paw. So I'm coming in at an angle about a stitch over. And you want to make sure you leave enough yarn for tying your knot. Now you're going to go back in to the same place that you went in initially, and then you're going to go about a stitch over with your tapestry needle. So you're going to skip a stitch and come out right next to where you came out previously. And then you have 1 claw done. Now you're going to come down 3 rows on the same row as you went in initially with your first claw. Going to come straight down, and here I skipped a stitch to go in here, and then I'm going to come back up with my tapestry needle so you can see where I came down here, and then I'm coming out a stitch over for the 3rd claw. So I have 1, 2, and then I'm going to come down again for a stitch over and come out. So then I have the 3 claws. And then I'm just going to take and go in around that 3rd claw. And then come out where I went in initially. And then you have your 3 claws, and then we're just going to tie a knot. And then you're going to go in through where you tied your knot. And you can come out anywhere on the arm. And then just cut your loose yarn end. You're going to do that with both yarn ends. Go in right where you did the knot. And then come out anywhere on the arm. And then you have 1 paw done. And the reason I did it that way is so when the cat holds up her paw, you can still see the claws. So go ahead and do that for all 4 paws, and then come back and I'll show you what to do next. Now I'm just going to show you how I did the foot. Same way, I just went in with my tapestry needle and up. Leave enough yarn for tying your knot. Go back down into where I went in the first time, a stitch over. Then I'm going to come straight down for the center claw and then out a stitch over. And then I'm going to come down, straight down. And this time I'm going to angle out where I came in initially. So straight down and then out where I first came in. And that forms the 3rd claw. And then I'll tie my knot. And then I'm going to take my tapestry needle, go in where I did my knot, come out the back. And then just bury my loose yarn in. So go ahead and bury all your loose yarn ends. And then come back and I'll show you how to do the collar. Now go ahead and just get the yarn that you want to use for the collar. And I'm just using my watermelon color. And we're going to do a slip knot first, and how I do that is I just fold the yarn over on itself to form a loop. Just take your crochet hook, and I'm still using my G hook, and I'm just going to hold the base of the loop with my middle finger and thumb. Just going to yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through that loop for my slip knot. Now you're just going to make a chain as big as you want for around the neck of your cat. So I have 1, 2, and then go ahead and make your chain as big as you need, and you can use your cat to measure around the neck and then come back. So you can see how I measured the chain around my cat's neck, and my chain is a chain of 22. So I did a chain of 22. So after you do your chain, however big it is for your cat, again mine was a chain of 22, I'm going to hold that last stitch with my middle finger and thumb, and now I'm going to do a chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And that's going to count as my first double crochet. Now I'm going to do a double crochet into the 4th chain from the hook, which is the stitch that I'm holding with my middle finger and thumb. So I'm going to yarn over, go into that 4th stitch from the hook, bring up a loop, 3 loops on my hook, yarn over and go through 2, and then yarn over and go through 2. So now I'm going to do a double crochet, yarn over, go into the next stitch, bring up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and go through 2, and then yarn over and go through 2. So I'm going to keep doing double crochets all the way back to the beginning. I'll do one more with you. So go ahead, complete a double crochet into every stitch back to the beginning, and then come back. This is how your work should look. You have a pretty collar. Now you're just going to take your cat and you're just going to, I like to work with it in the back, so just take and place the collar around the neck and then turn your cat over. Then you're going to take your crochet hook and just make sure that your collar is not twisted. So make sure it's lying nice and flat and not twisted. Then you're going to take your crochet hook and you're going to go into that top stitch of that first double crochet that you did. So go into the top stitch. Then you're going to yarn over and you're going to pull the yarn through both loops on your hook for a slip stitch. Then you're going to go ahead and finish off. So you're going to yarn over and then pull enough yarn to bury into your work. Then you're going to take your tapestry needle onto the other loose yarn end at the bottom, and then you're going to take your tapestry needle and you're going to go into that bottom stitch of that first double crochet, and you're going to bring the bottom part of the leash together, and then you're going to tie a knot. Just go back into that same stitch and then you can tie a knot. And then I like to do that a couple of times. There we go. And then you can take and bury your loose yarn ends. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this side to do the, no, actually I'm just going to bury it. Go ahead and just bury your loose yarn ends. You just kind of weave it through. And you can bury it as much as you want into the back. And then once you have it buried, you go ahead and cut it. Go ahead and bury your loose yarn ends. To make the gold coin, I'm just using my gold colored yarn. And I'm just going to drape the yarn across my 4 fingers, use my thumb to stabilize, and then wrap the yarn around my 2 middle fingers twice and hold it in place with my pinky and my thumb. And I'm still using my G crochet hook or 4mm crochet hook. Just going to bring up a loop. then I'm going to yarn over, turn the hook upside down, go through that loop for a slip knot. Now I'm going to do 12 single crochets into the magic circle. So I'm going to do 12 of them. 12 single crochets. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, and 12. So 12 single crochet into the magic circle, and then I'm going to hold it at the base of the 12 single crochet with my forefinger and thumb. Same way that we closed the magic circle before, you're going to grab one of those loops and pull. If it doesn't close, then you let go and pull in the other one until it closes. Loosely, and then pull on the loose yarn end. And then I'm going to do a slip stitch into that top stitch. Yarn over and pull it through both loops on the hook for a slip stitch. Then I'm going to yarn over and pull enough yarn to sew my coin. Now you can put your coin on the leash if you want to do that. So you could put the coin on the leash, and I'm going to put a bell on this cat's leash, but you would do, so the same way that I'm putting the bell on, you can do your gold coin instead. Or you can do like I'm going to do, and I'm just going to sew my gold coin onto the paw. So if you're going to make yours like a lucky cat, you can put it on whatever paw that you want to be held up. You can put it on both paws if you want, or if you just want the right paw, then you would sew it on that one. I'm going to do mine on the left paw. So you just take your tapestry needle and just sew the coin onto the paw, and then I'm going to show you how to do the bell. So now to sew the bell on, I'm going to do a slip knot and do a chain of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let me see if I want to do a little bit longer. And you can check on your cat too to see. I think I'm going to do a couple more. So this chain of 8, I'm going to do 2 more. So a chain of 10. 9, 10, and then you're going to finish off, yarn over, and then pull enough yarn to tie a knot. And then you're going to take your bell, and you can see the loop on the bell. Then I'm just going to, looks like I'm going to have to use my smaller tapestry needle to go through, just make it a little bit easier. You can see how that fit nicely. And then I'm going to take and bring that extra end, and you can pull the bell, pull the chain through about halfway on the bell. And then you can take and tie a knot. And then you have your bell. So you can go ahead and take your loose yarn ends and bury those, and then come back and we'll see the finished cat. So you can see the gold coin that's on the paw, and also you have the little bell on the leash. Now I'm going to show you how to make the fish. And now your cat has a little goldfish. I'm going to show you how to make these cute little lucky cats. And you can either make this design for the eyes, or I'm going to show you how you can make the alternate design for the eyes. So I'm just going to give you a close-up view of each one. And they have a little bell that you can put onto their leash or their collar. And they have arms that move up and down so they can wave. And also movable feet so they could sit. And then this is what they look like from behind. And you can make your tail as big or as small as you want. And I also show how you can put stripes on their face if you like that design. And you can make them whatever color that you like. I'm going to show you the yarn that I used to make these. And then this one, to show you this one, I also showed how to make the gold coin. So I'll show you how to do that if you like the cat to hold a gold coin. And then also, I have a link to a video to show you how to make the goldfish if you like the goldfish.